As a beginner trader, you're meant to make a lot of mistakes as you learn your way to be more profitable and consistent in the markets. And usually, as a beginner, you want to find those mistakes as early as possible because they can be helpful to your overall trading experience as you may be digging a hole into your balance and might cause you to quit trading as you may feel that you're not good enough for this. So, one of the best ways that I found my mistakes as a beginner was through using a journal. And if you're not sure what a trading journal is, it allows you to track every trade that you're making and its information, so the reasons that you've entered this trade, the confluences and everything about this trade, and you can write your thoughts down and everything that went through your head when placing this trade to help you understand what you may be doing wrong in the markets. So, a journal essentially is a way for you to evaluate your trading strategies and your trading mindset in the markets. And this is an example of what I have to my own personal journal. And I'm using Google Sheets, and this is a free tool for you to use. And you can see that I have a couple of columns and rows here that allows me to track the stats that I want for my strategy. But for example, if you're using a different strategy, you may have different stuff on these columns, and this is dependent on your strategy or what you want to be tracking into your journal. So on the left hand side you'll see that I have the pairs. So for example, what pair are you trading, the date, the type, and this allows me to easily track my trades and spot them out and look back at them and review those trades. And I usually do a weekly review in the weekends to see how my week has been and what mistakes I did or what could have I done differently to get the most out of the markets. So then I have the volume and the stop loss and take profit. Then I have my confluences for the strategy that I've showcased in the past few videos. If you haven't checked those out, this is the my personal strategy that I usually use when trading, and I'll be linking this video right now. So go check that out if you want to see how I usually trade. And you can see that this is a checkbox which I usually do when I'm about to place my trade. So when I'm looking at a potential entry, I'll mark up things that this entry has. So for example, are the moving average aligned? Yes. Is the RSI oversold or overbought? Yes, etc. And this allows me to see how good or bad this trade is or not. And depending on how many boxes this trade ticks, I will be more confident or less confident in this trade. So this is also for me to essentially monitor my trade, and if this trade is good, or evaluate on spot before placing my trade if a trade is meeting my criteria or not. So this is an extra reason why I use a journal with check tick boxes, as you can see, and this allows me to track if I'm doing a good trade or not, I'm entering a good trade or not. And after my confluences or the reasons that I've entered, I have result, balance, and some comments. And I think the comment section is one of the most important ones in this journal because I usually, for example, if I were to close the trade early, I would be commenting on the reasons behind this. And let's say I felt that the movement was losing momentum, and thus I wanted to close the trade. Or for example, it was going the wrong way and I was feeling less confident in this trade, and just to save me some money, I closed the trade early with a small loss instead of hitting my stop loss. So stuff like that maybe in the comment section, and essentially a comment section allows you to track everything that went through your head, even things that you didn't actually do. For example, you may have considered closing the trade early and didn't. You can still write that down, and I usually write everything that comes up in my head when looking at a trade and evaluating if a trade is good or not, or when I'm closing a trade, etc. So the comment section is one of the most essential tools to use, and I usually have a large area right here so I can comment everything right here, because not everything can be yeah, as a tick box. There are other confluences that might be in place where they don't meet my columns that I have here. So the comment section is really important for you to be using. So just to summarize why you should be using a trading journal and what a trading journal is. A trading journal is a way for you to track everything, every trade that you are placing and the reasons why you've placed this trade what confluences did this trade meet, etc. Any comments that you have, any thoughts that were running through your head, and why you placed this trade, and evaluate afterwards without being emotionally overwhelmed. Or for example, when you're trading, you're usually excited, you want to place a trade. Where this was this trade valid or not? Was it because you were excited and you just placed a trade just because you wanted to place a trade, etc.? So this gives you a way to evaluate what went through your head, your mindset, etc., and things to improve. So this allows you to spot mistakes that you're making through the comment section, or through evaluating weekly each trade that you're making, and find ways to improve as a trader. And additionally, you can use a journal, as I'm using it, through checkboxes, which allows you to evaluate on spot before placing a trade if this trade is good or not, by clicking the boxes that this trade meets, and give you an extra second, or an extra minute to think of this trade by looking at everything that this trade is giving you, every confluence that there is in place, etc. So this is essentially an extra confirmation that your trade is good or not. And this is just an example. You can have a different journal. There are plenty of examples here. This is how my journal looks like, and I'm using the Google Docs. You can use Excel or any other application that you have. It all depends on what you prefer. I prefer Google Docs, which is free, and you can use that. But if you prefer something else, it's totally up to you. So that is for this video. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe on to the channel. If you have any questions, drop them below. And if you have any recommendations for a video, again, comment below. Thank you for watching, and have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.